A Russian immigrant who moved to New Jersey as a kid, hustled selling baseball cards and doing lemonade stands, and later turned his father's wine business from $3 million to $60 million. He now owns a multi-million-dollar marketing agency and wants to buy the New York Jets. You're watching the first episode of How They Do It. This is Gary Vaynerchuk.
So at 30, I started Wine Library TV. YouTube blows up. At 31, I'm on Conan O'Brien, Ellen. There's articles being written about me. Now they're writing that the business grew from $3 to $60 million in sales. I'm becoming this guy. Every day that I live my life, I get 5 to 27 emails from people that are telling me that they are quitting, or they should quit, or are really coming to me as a last resort to convince them not to quit, I think, a lot of times, or maybe give them confirmation that they should quit. The story that's never told is the story that I was building Wine Library to a huge company long before Wine Library TV, and that the first month that I did Wine Library TV was the first time that Wine Library had not grown 30% over the prior years. You don't just sit in your room hoping and then something lucky happens. Nobody just knocks on your house's door and says, congratulations, you've been awarded this. Luck comes from being in the right spot. I just don't think people believe me. I think 99.9%. Your country is not the variable of your hustle, my friend. Now the environment and like entrepreneurship is glorified in the US. The UK wants to be more reserved, different, but your hustle, your work ethic, your drive is not predicated on your zip code.
What's up, guys? I'm Andy. You're watching Learn How, and you're watching the first episode of How They Do It, where we take a deep dive into an entrepreneur, a business person, an influencer, someone who is achieving success online, and we kind of pick apart how they're doing it and what they did to get to the point of where they're at today. So in this episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite influencers, Gary Vaynerchuk. I've actually been listening to Gary's podcast for a few years now. Actually, when I first started this YouTube channel, he was one of the main motivations for me to get started doing this. But it's no surprise to me that he was the first person on my mind for the very first episode of this show. Now, what do I hope that you get out of this show? My purpose here is to help you see what other people are doing to get to the point they're at. What are they doing that's working for them? What have they done in the past? What is their mindset like? And we can learn a lot from these types of influencers to help our own businesses be successful. So let's dive into Gary Vaynerchuk, or I might call him Gary V, and talk about some things that he did, some things that he's doing to get to where he's at today. First things first though, comment shout out to Shoyoyi. If that's how you say your name, I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Thank you so much for leaving a comment on my video. I'm giving away an Amazon gift card every week on my channel, so make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribe to this channel so you can have a chance to win an Amazon gift card. I like to share the love to those who are sharing the love back to me. So thank you so much for leaving a comment. Now, who is this Gary Vaynerchuk? A lot of you who are watching this probably have heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. He's got, millions of followers across Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. He is all over social media. And while he does have a very strong personal brand, he also runs a marketing agency called VaynerMedia. They have something like 400 or more employees. They're a multi-million-dollar agency. And on top of this, he's doing daily vlogging, podcasting, public speaking, and being very, very active on all the social media platforms. He's also got a bunch of good books that I've read that talk a lot about, marketing, online business, social media, a lot of stuff like that. But like I mentioned in the intro, Gary came with his family to the United States at a very young age, and he just had the entrepreneur blood in his veins. He was selling baseball cards. He was doing lemonade stands. He was always hustling, and he talks so much about working hard. The other two big keys that Gary really talks about a lot that have really helped me in my online business are consistency and patience. You have to be patient with your online business. Let me show you an example here of how Gary was patient with his online business when he first got, started into social media. One of Gary Vee's first social media ventures was Wine Library TV. This was a wine show that he did every single day where he talked about a different wine. This, of course, because his father owned a liquor store, and so this was to help, supplement the sales of his liquor store. But let me talk about consistency and patience. Check this out here. I'm gonna go back to his oldest video so you can see when that was. Let's see right here, it says episode 4 is first. We gotta try and find, maybe there's episode 1 somewhere. Maybe it got taken down, but here's we'll just go with episode 4. Okay, this was 12 years ago, people, that he posted this. 12 years ago. He, had just like some little ghetto camera and he just did the best with what he had. Now I wanna show you really quickly what his YouTube channel looks like today, so we can do a little bit of a comparison. He now has his own personal YouTube channel. That's just Gary V. You can see here he has over 1.8 million subscribers. But look at all of the videos he has and look at his content now. Look at that. Look at that picture of Gary right there and that picture of Gary 12 years ago. So for 12 years, he's been hustling on YouTube, honing his craft, as he would say, and just perfecting his online presence. That just goes to show the consistency and patience that he has showed over 10 years. Guys, YouTube especially is a long game. It is gonna take you a few years. It's not like you're gonna hop on YouTube and just, be a 1.8 million subscriber channel. That doesn't happen to everyone. It takes a lot of hard work to get there. So now Gary has kind of changed from Wine Library TV to his personal YouTube channel. But over here on Wine Library TV, let's look right here really quickly. I'm just gonna use my TubeBuddy tool to see how many videos he has posted on his channel. So on this Wine Library TV, he had 980 videos posted. Now, if you look on his, if you go to his videos and look through them, you can see how many episodes he's posted. You can scroll through here and see, look, 24, 25. Literally, he did this every day. I believe it was like somewhere around 1,000 episodes of this show. So for years, he was just putting out content, putting out content, putting out content. Even if not many people were watching the videos at the time, he knew it was the right thing to do. And that's what really propelled him to become a personal brand and influencer that he is today. So what was Gary's turning point when he got into online business? So he had been working on Wine Library, which was an e-commerce store, but it was also a physical location. They do have a physical location, so he spent a lot of time there. But when did he transition into this point where, hey, I'm gonna be a personal brand, I'm gonna be an influencer, I wanna do social media, I wanna do my own thing? Well, he had been very successful helping his father build his liquor store from 3 million to 60 million using some advertising and marketing tactics. And once he started to gain a little traction, he kind of realized, hey, I'm pretty good at this sort of thing. He was doing his YouTube channel. He had a feel for it. He was starting to make some money, made some good investments in Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, things like that. And that's when he realized, you know what, I'm gonna go out on my own and do my own thing. So he started his marketing agency, Vaynermedia, with his brother. And then that's when he really started to get really in with social media because he was promoting social media as a good form of advertising more than TV and radio and that kind of stuff. So he had to be very present in those social platforms. So he started to put a lot of content out on Instagram, on Twitter. He had a very big Twitter following in the early days of Twitter, which helped him build up his Instagram, build up his YouTube. And now he is a household name for many entrepreneurs in the United States and even around the world. So how has Gary's online presence evolved over the years? Well, he's started to do a lot of new things with his social media content. But one of the big things that I noticed that he started to do differently was he came out with his Daily V show. So if you're on here on his YouTube channel, you could find a playlist on here called Daily V. This is essentially a daily vlog of his everyday life. So you get to see what it's like for him going to the office and flying and public speaking and going to all these places. It was a daily vlog that he started doing, and he's able to repurpose this content into a lot of different social platforms. This is a very good strategy that's working very well for him. Instead of coming up with, unique original content, well, I guess I don't want to make that sound bad. Instead of having to like create content for every different platform, he just has someone film his everyday life, and they take pieces and bits of those videos and use them in other areas on the internet. So for example, he'll film his daily V, he'll vlog about his day, and then he'll take a video clip of something interesting during that day, post it on Instagram with a caption. Or if he said a quote in a meeting that stood out, he'll post a quote on Twitter, or he'll post a quote caption on Instagram or on Facebook. He'll also take the audio from his meetings, from his interviews, from his public speaking, and upload those to his podcast. He's not always, doing a dedicated podcast post or a dedicated video or a dedicated Instagram picture. They're taking pieces of one piece of content and repurposing it for all these different platforms. That's a really good strategy that you can use if you're trying to build your presence across different platforms. If you're really good at video, film a video and then use those pieces of the video for Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever. Or if you're good at writing, use the writing and turn it into different pieces. Outsource the things you're not good at. If you're good at writing but not video, write a great blog article, have someone else film a video. Or if you're good at video, do a video and have someone else turn it into a blog article for you. It's a really smart way to repurpose your content. So now Gary Vee, he has a successful marketing agency. He's obviously making a lot of money doing that, but he also gets paid a lot for doing public speaking. He doesn't really do a lot of promotional and advertising on his social media things, like Instagram. He's not really throwing out brand deals and sponsors and things like that. And he doesn't really sell a lot of personal products. He's not selling courses and things like that. He does put out a book about once a year that he'll sell for like $20, but he doesn't really push those sort of things as his way of making an income. His main ways of personally making an income would be his public speaking, which he can get paid thousands of dollars per visit. And then he makes money through his marketing agency. So is what I really like that Gary teaches is put out your content for free. You don't always have to monetize every single piece of content. You don't have to monetize all of your Instagram posts and all of your Twitter and all your Facebook and everything. Put out a lot of free content, give value to people, and there will be revenue streams that present themselves. He used this strategy that people love him for all of his free advice that he gives, that he was able to build a following very, very rapidly. And he's not hiding any information, which is why people really, really love him. And that turns into public speaking gigs. So that's something to think about. Gary's being smart about building his social media profiles with free content, not selling courses, not doing stuff like that, not saying that it's wrong, but that's his business model. And then he gets one speaking gig that pays him $50,000. And that's more than a lot of people would make trying to sell courses or other personal products. So that's something we can learn from Gary as far as provide free value, do as much as you can for free, and the opportunities to monetize will come down the road. What's the best place to listen to or find Gary Vee's content? My favorite place to find Gary's content is through his podcast. It's the Gary Vee audio experience. He's got clips of all sorts of videos that he's done, public speaking appearances that he's done. I personally love his keynotes the best as far as his podcast content goes. Another great place to find him is, of course, through his YouTube channel. There you can watch the Daily V. He also does his Ask Gary Vee show, which is when he usually brings on a guest and they'll do like live call-ins and answer questions about entrepreneurship and online business. That's a really good show to watch on YouTube. He also usually will stream those live on Instagram or Facebook. So you can go to Instagram or Facebook as well. He does have a really cool Instagram account that he shares a lot of clips of videos from his Daily V and other speaking engagements that he's done. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking him out on podcast, YouTube, and Instagram. But like I said, he is everywhere. He's literally on like every social media platform. So if you like the other social media platforms, I'm sure you could find him on there as well. You can also find his books on Amazon. I've read Crushing It. I'm reading right now the Ask Gary Vee that he turned into a book. There's a lot of good stuff in his books. So yeah, I definitely recommend going to check those out as well too. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of How'd They Do It. learning more from Gary Vee and how he has built a successful online business. If you have any recommendations for the show, anyone you'd want me to look at and talk about what I think they're doing good and what we can learn from them, leave a comment, give a shout out to your favorite influencers. I'll go check them out and maybe we'll feature them on an upcoming show. Make sure you guys come back and join us next week for the next episode of this show. We've got a great influencer coming in that episode. And like I said, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, giving you a chance to win Amazon gift cards weekly. Once again, I'm Andy. You're watching Learn How. We'll see you in the next video.